Hello everyone, it's Creative Eclectic here, Chrissy Graham, your independent demonstrator from Brisbane, Australia. Hope you're having a fabulous week so far. Welcome back to Tuesday Night Lights, and Happy New Year, and I hope everyone is really excited to be back. I'm hoping this is in the right place. Alright, so I'm really excited to be back. It's been nice to have a break, but it's really nice to be back again. And I hope everyone's had a fabulous Christmas and fabulous New Year, and those of you who celebrate Lunar New Year, I hope that you're gonna have some great celebrations too. And I'm just seeing who is joining us today. I've got a few different groups that hopefully people will come on board and say hello, and it's not in the middle of dinner. I think that I've captured all the groups that I want to capture. Yeah, so tonight it's all about, let's move this over a little bit, all about sale-a-bration. So we're going to play with a sale-a-bration stamp set, and it is a one that you might think, oh my God, what am I going to do with that if I got that for free? So I'm going to give you some ideas, and they've been inspired by other people, and I don't know, unfortunately, the people's names at this stage. So if I find their names, I will certainly credit them. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about sale-a-bration. So the new catalogue is live. Who have we got joining us now? If you're joining us, make sure you say hello and let me know that you're here. Glenda, hello. Lovely to see you. So tonight we're talking about sale-a-bration, and I'm hoping that I've got my camera set up. It's been a little while since I've had to set up my camera and had to set up my lights, and so I'm not quite sure if it's all working well, but certainly hope it is, and it looks like it is, so let's keep going. So happy New Year, Glenda. I have seen you already this year. So last week we had the most fabulous coffee cake and cards. It was the biggest coffee cake and cards we've had for a very, very long time. So it was lovely to see everyone, and I'm really glad that people made the time to come. And I'm also disappointed that some people had other appointments, and that's unfortunately the way of the world. You can't arrange things around everyone. And I'm really having trouble getting my mat straight. It's driving me a little bit batty. But anyway, my table is full of stuff at the moment. It's got all stuff for class on Saturday. It's also got stuff for our one-day retreat. But anyway, let's talk about sale-a-bration, and then I can talk to you about the retreat and class after we've done that. So, sale-a-bration runs from the 5th of January to the 28th of February, so it's only 2 months this year. So it's a little bit shorter than it has been in the past. And what it is basically, you spend $90 and you get rewarded. So you get rewarded a number of ways. So there's free stamp sets like the Adorable Owls and the Thanks a Bunch. And then there's free papers. So for every $90 you spend, so like this cute little farm paper, there's another free stamp set, sending support. That's a great sentiment step. Because people forget to buy sentiments, and so having a sentiment set is really, really good. Hi Jodie, thanks for joining us. Hope it's lovely in Adelaide. So there's also some beautiful papers. So they've got 3 different types of papers that I'm There's favoured flowers, there's day at the farm and dainty flowers, and they all have coordinating stamp sets in the new mini catalogue. And then there's another stamp set which you could earn for $90, but then there's some special sets that you can only earn if you spend $180. So Beautifully Happy is that one of those. And this Dandy Designs paper. Oh, 38. Oh, that sounds dreadful, Jodie. That's way too hot for me. It's a bit muggy here, but I've forgotten to turn the aircon on, so because I was in and out for a lot of the day. So this is this paper, if you spend $180, you can get this. And there is 4 sheets of 12 by 12 paper. Imagine how many cards you could make with that. If you were making, that's 6, for each piece of paper, single sheet, you made 6 cards. That's a lot of papers, a lot of cards. So, yeah, so there we go. So times that by 48. 6 by 48. I can't add that up. I don't have a calculator. Anyway, so we're talking about sale-a-bration, and we're also talking about this particular set. And so you might see this set on page 3, 4, 5, and go, what on earth would I ever do with carrots? Because unless you know someone that's got a farm, or you go, really, what would I do with it? But this set is so much more than carrots, right? So let's just talk about this. So it's got our carrot pieces. This is supposed to be the top of the carrots. I think these are maybe butterflies, maybe, I don't know. And this is some sort of a leaf. And these are the lines for the carrots. But what if we use them for something else? So this was inspired by another demonstrator, and I'm sorry, I don't know her name. And I'm going to just make a quick card. So I've got this piece of white, which I have blended. And then, you don't like the carrots unless they're trees. So you might know what I'm going to do here, Jodie. So I've blended this piece of cardstock. So I've used my blending brushes, which look like this. And, in the new mini catalogue, there's tiny ones. Hi, Vicky. Nice to see you. Happy Tuesday. So these blending brushes, I've used an old olive and granny apple green. Then I also used Bermuda Bay and Coastal Cabana. Then at the top, I use Mango Melody. And it's really badly blended, okay? It's blotchy. It's just a piece that I had. All right? So let's fix it. And I hope this works out. I really do. Because I haven't practiced. So we are going to grab our little carrot stamp set. And we're going to start off with this leafy bit. So as Jodie mentioned in the comments, it could be trees. So let's make it into some trees. So again, I'm going to use my old olive. Oh, it's pretty already, Jodie. Thank you. Well, give her, oh yeah, can watch for a few minutes before you have to do story time with Hunter. Well, give Hunter a big cuddle from me, and I hope it's a good story. Maybe Matilda, or another one by Ronald Dahl. So we're going to do a couple of trees. So again, this is supposed to be the leafy tops of the carrots. Okay, so I could fussy cut them and make a mask. I'm just going to use a piece of Post-it note and just do a few random trees. I don't want to... so what I'm trying with the Post-it note, I'm just trying to not get ink on the other leaf, and I should really fussy cut them out, but it's fine. And I've got an ink booger. Oh dear. But that's okay. So we're making a little forest with our trees. Now don't worry about that ink booger, because we can cover that up. All right. Now Vicky was the one that shared, well, she didn't make this card, but she pointed one out similar to me, and I'm like, well, that's a pretty cute card. So that's what I thought I would go with. So this next stamp I'm going to use is, it's a line stamp, so you can't see real well here. So this liney stamp here, right? And so, to me that looks like grass, all right? So I've got some, where is it? Some granny apple green. So remember I said when I blended down the bottom, I used granny apple green and old olives. So I'm just going to use that grass down the bottom. Okay. And I'm going to do it a few times just to make the grass a bit taller. And I really do, this is inspired by someone, but it's going to not be anything like what hers was, because different colours and different... I'm going to do that a few random pieces around the base of the tree. And I haven't inked, but I want some texture. So some sponge off, stamp off, just so it looks a bit random texturally. So I've got some grass there. So this could look really bad and I will be so embarrassed, but because I haven't done a lot of stamping yet this year. So I just wanted to make it look very, very random. So I think that's working out okay. You love ink boogers. Yes, ink boogers aren't so good, Vicky. All right, so we've got, and I've got my stamp scrub. So what I'm just going to do is because I want to clean them all at once, I'm just going to stick those onto the top of my Stamp and Scrub, the bits that I've used so far. And then I'll come back and clean them all with my stamping mist. Now I've got these other things that are supposed to be tiny carrot tops. So we're going to use those as well, but we're going to ink them in the green, the Granny Apple Green, and then sort of put a bit of Old Olive ink on there as well. And let's see how that works. So it's probably, let's stamp it off again, probably a little bit much Old Olive. So it's sort of like a rock and roll technique. It's something that was really popular when I first started stamping. I stamp it off on our paper. The stamp probably isn't solid enough for that. And just really lightly touching the edges. I've got a few random little bushes. And then if we want some just plain light ones, let's do that as well. And so adding the Old Olive and the green, Granny Apple Green together actually just slightly changes the colour of the ink. Not too much, but enough. All right. So that one, I think it needs a bit more green. And you could use a completely different colour if you wanted to. So we've got we've got 5 little bushes. I've got another ink booger, but don't worry about that. It'll all work out in the end. All right. So then we've got some water. So the example that I saw, they had used Memento as their water. Since I've coloured in Bermuda Bay, let me see if I've still got my bit of mask. I've just got a piece here that I want to use as a mask. The stamp has got a I could cover it with a carrot, but I'm not going to. Oh, you mean, or a carrot top? I could, yes. So I've got these lines, and they remind me of the waves on the water. So I'm just going to do them randomly across the horizon. Now, it's really probably best if you try and keep it fairly straight, but waves aren't straight. So I'm doing, up the top I'm doing quite dark, and then I will stamp off as well. And so you can see this starting to look a bit like water. Well, I think it is. I need to make them a bit more random and overlap them as well. Doesn't matter if they're close together, far apart. Like water's got, the whole point of these things is to create movement. Oh, what colour nails? Well, they've got a purple base. Okay, I don't know if you can see them. The purple base, but they've got like what they call a Christmas beetle topping on them. So if I'm looking at them with it not on camera, they look purple, but on camera they look Christmas beetle green, and they've got a sparkle in them. So that was my New Year's nails. Jodie, thanks for asking. I think people just watch it to find out what colour nails I'm going to get. I'm not sure what colour to get next month, but that's still a little while away. All right, so you can see that it's starting to come together. So we might have to put a couple more little bushes down the bottom to cover that ink booger. And why you get those things is your block is too big for the stamp. All right. So just like I bought one, it's all. I had to remember that people, international people who watch this don't know some of our slang. So when I say it's just like I bought one, they're going, "What are you talking about?" Well, you've got ladies that do that too. Vicky, watch for nail colours. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got 7 bushes. I'm happy with that because we've got an odd number. And they sort of look a bit random. Okay. All right. So now we're up to the sky. Oh, no, we're up to the horizon here. Now what we want to do... Actually, what I do want to do is I want to add a little bit of Coastal Cabana waves on as well. Not many, just a few. Just because, just add a bit of different interest and colour. So there's lots going on that section in the middle. But there's just a bit random. Because waves aren't all the one colour, are they? So there we go. So it's coming together. All right. So I wanted to put, and this is where I got inspiration from somewhere else, is there has to be some sort of island or something on the horizon. And so we're going to use our old olive again. We're going to bring back that bit that we used for grass. Now, because I used it for granny apple green, it doesn't matter if I put the lighter colour on the granny apple green on the old olive. So I'm making this a sort of an island on the horizon. So what I want to do is I don't want to make it too far down. Don't want it in the middle of my ocean. So I'm just going to use my piece of scrap as a mask. And pop that on there. So I've got my green blending brush. And I'm very, very, very carefully, and I should use my mini blending brushes for this, but very carefully, I'm just going to see if I can add a bit of green, and I might need to get a different colour, or I might need to get a sponge. So it's looking like a bit of an island. We're going to add some more green. So this time I do need to clean this off. So I'm just going to get my finger, which I've spat on, and wipe off the ink and see it's nice and clean because I didn't want to get up. So I'm just going to move this over, and again stamping, and it's making a bit of a background there behind the darker colours. So it's sort of a bit, what do you call it, impressionistic. Yes, I could do a Dauber, but they're in the other room. And normally I would do a Dauber at Jodie, but I'll just go back in with my dark one again. And so that sort of looks a little bit like trees on the horizon there. A little bit of an island. I'm okay with that. You could do it, all of these details you could have done in Memento ink, but I wanted to just try some other colours. But what I will do is, I know these are probably supposed to be maybe butterflies. Oh, I don't know what they are. They're blobs, really. So we're going to use those and pretend that they're birds. Okay, because we need something in the sky. Right. So I hope everyone's had a really good day. What's everyone to do for Christmas and New Year? And I feel like I haven't talked to anyone for ages. Well, I've talked to Glenda and I've talked to Vicky. And who else have I talked to? They would make a great background. I'm just going to... I'm not going to do too many of them. But I sort of think they look like birds in the distance. So I'm just going to manoeuvre my very dry Memento ink pad and just stamp 3. Now I've used my mask to get rid of, so it looks like there's 3 over there. Let's stamp a couple more over this side, so they could be like birds around an island. Let's do another 3 over here. So that's 6. So we've got a sort of an odd number, so we've got an even number, so we'll just add another 2 up here. Actually, and another, I should have added another 3, but anyway. So they're sort of a bit like birds, and you could have a few more random ones up the top. Let's do another 3 up here. I just didn't like them all really, really close together. So what we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, and as I said, I only like odd numbers, so I'm going to add another 3 there. So that is a sort of a background, and it's a really, really simple card. I don't think it needs a lot of fussing. You'll be back. Okay, Vicky. I'm trying not to have a really long one tonight. I'm easing back into it because Steve was home late from work, so we haven't had dinner yet. So, here we go. I'm going to put this one on with dimensionals because I'm not having a whole heap of layers. I'm just having a few 2 layers on the card because I'm letting the stamps and the what is that other thing? The stamps and the ink and the blending just do all the work. All right. Glenda, are you still here? You're very, very quiet. Hi, Leanne. Happy New Year. Lovely to see you watching. All right. So that is the first card. I do think that it might need a little bit of bling, but that, I don't know what bling it needs. What do we think we need? Any suggestions for bling? I've got my bling folder here. I've got lots of pieces of bling, but not... Well, let's see if we can... I have to sort through all my bling. I have so much. Oh, we've got this little sea glass bling. So, that might be nice to have a bit of sea glass. On the edge of our, whoops, on the edge of our ocean there. I don't know if it's an ocean or if it's a lake. I'd say it might be a tropical island ocean. Yeah. So we've got a couple of bits of sea glass there. I'm not sure that I like that, but we're working with that. Another two random. Let's do a couple of green ones, hey? Get rid of that one there. And I didn't bring out my take my pick tool, so put a couple of bits around the base of the tree, just to give it a bit of texture. Now we don't have a sentiment on this one, so I'm thinking that we might have a bit of a thanks sentiment, because I'm always short on thank you cards. So I'm not convinced about the sea glass, but the faux sea glass, but we'll just run with that. Oh, you can't put comments on the use the sea glass. Okay. All right. Thanks, Glenda. All right. It's much easier to watch it on your computer when it's on the big screen, isn't it? All right. Let's do a sentiment. Oops. I think that thanks says it all, really. Thanks or hey there. I think it's thanks. What do we think? And I'm hoping I've got a scrap of white somewhere. I've got a scrap of white here. Pop this one. All right. And I think that a really nice colour for this would be our Bermuda Bay. But before we do that, I'm just going to grab my blending brush, which has still got a bit of yellow on it. I'm just going to blend a bit of ink on this scrap piece, okay? Because I think that having it white will be too much. And a stamp in Bermuda Bay. Hope you're not seeing my head. Oh. Stamp in Bermuda Bay. Whoop, that's nice and straight. Do I have a trimmer? Let's have a trimmer on the table. My very dirty trimmer. It has been used so much in the last 24 hours. Because I've been cutting up for my calendar class, which is this Saturday. And now I've got a couple of spots left. And I will show you tonight part of the calendar. I'm not showing you the front because the front is awesome. But And I want that to be a surprise for the people who come. But I think that you'll like the other pieces. I've got my little thanks. Maybe I can cut a little bit more off the top, just to make it a little bit more flush. And because I forgot, when you do a calendar class, you have, you actually have to make 13 layouts. So you've got one for each month, and then you cover. And if you're really enthusiastic, you do a back cover too, but I'm not that. I haven't done a back cover on mine. So I think that this is just going to go right down the bottom there. You think, Glenda, taking off those 3 sea glass by the water? I think so too. I'm going to take those off. And I think the green sea glass is better. But I'll need to add 3 more green ones. I totally agree, Glenda. It's good when you think about it and you go, okay, we need to have, I just need 1 more green one so that I've got an odd number. I'm going to put it over this side. That spot there. There we go. I'm happier with that. So there we go. So that's our first card, and that's not in the centre. Oh. How did that happen? That's about right. There we go. So, and what I would do later is get my Winker Stella and give it a good splatter with Winker Stella, because you can never have too much of that. And of course later on I'll go and I'll put a white piece on the inside, which I will have blended with my green. So that's our first idea. So we're going to quickly do a second idea. So I've got a little note card. I have got a piece of scrap DSP, which is left over from the Christmas catalogue. Now this note card is, I think, 5 1/4 inches by 3 1/2, I think. I can't remember. It's one of those random ones they have in this stash. Hi, Lisa. Lovely to see you. All right, so we've got our next stamp. And I'll put it somewhere. We've got a little piece of white and a little piece of red. And I've lost my stamp. Oh, here it is. Now, this stamp is a leaf. It's supposed to be a leaf. Right, it's supposed to be the leafy tops of the carrot. But what if you turn that upside down and you use a bit of post-it note or masking paper? It could be a little Christmas tree. So now we're going to try that rock and roll technique again, but we're going to try it with actually I'm going to try it with early espresso and evening evergreen and soft succulent, because they're 2 of the colours that are in the paper. But you could use any Christmas paper that you like. So I am just going to get my tap, 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 tap with my soft succulent. Then I'm going to grab my evening evergreen, and we're just going to do what we call a rock and roll technique. So we're rolling it Okay, so we're rolling it around. So you'll see that there's none of the dark stuff in the middle. We'll just wipe off the excess around the edge. So lucky I've got a black tablecloth. That's all I can say. And so we're going to just stamp that. Now, if you don't like how that looks, you can always use your blending brushes, your ink, and you can paint in a bit more. So this is sort of like a Christmas tree. So then, well, it needs a base. So what colour base can we do? Or it needs a sort of like a what do you call it? A trunk. So I've got this other one that I used before, and I've cleaned it off on the tablecloth. And I'm not okay with cleaning off on the tablecloth because I am the one that washes it. So I've just got some soft suede. And we don't need a huge long trunk, but we do need a bit of a trunk. So I'll just put my mask down where I don't want it and line that up with the centre of that leaf. And there you go. You've got a bit of a Christmas tree. Then what you could do is you could then go back and say, oh, I need that other branch down the bottom. So let's just mask over here and put a bit of, and I hope that this is going to work. Move it a bit closer. And just stamp over top of it so that you've got a bit more of a branch. It's not perfect, but it is better than it was. So that is a really easy little Christmas tree that you could make. So the outside of the cardstock, I'm just going to put a bit of soft suede, soft succulent around the edge. So I'm just dabbing it down really, really quickly. So this is a nice, quick, easy card to use up your scrap Christmas paper and use that stamp set in a different way. It's probably not the best Christmas tree, but it's sort of a, what do you call it? An arty one, maybe. And look, I hadn't tried these before, so we're learning together tonight. Okay. So I'll just stick my piece of GSP. Now this is a retired paper, but you can use whatever you have. And I'm sure that you've got lots of retired Christmas paper that you could try this a different way with. Okay. And we'll stick these ones on with dimensionals. And you might think that's a really weird tree, and it is a little weird, but it might be maybe it's a Picasso tree. Maybe. Oh, you didn't see it as Christmas. Oh. Espresso. What did I say? I don't know, Jodie. I think I need an espresso. And so then I can just pop this on my card with dimensionals. Yeah, I just think that... Now, I have to give credit to Kim Heath. She turned that stamp set that stamp upside down and showed me that it could be a tree, and I just took it one step further and made it a Christmas tree. And we probably need just a little bit of ribbon on this. I should have cut the paper the other way, and I could have done it that way, but it's all right. Need a bit of ribbon. So I've got a big stash of retired ribbon on my table at the moment. So I'm just going to... So the beautiful thing about this paper is got cherry cobbler, but it's also got real red in it. So you can use both. So before I stick that down, I'm just going to stick down a bit of tape. Yes, you could put a star on top. I don't know if I've got star embellishments close by. I probably do. You could do all sorts of things with it. So don't think just because they're Stampin' Up's telling you it's a leaf, don't think it has to be a leaf. And just because they tell you it has to be parts of a carrot, well, it doesn't. It can be whatever you like. So I'm just going to pop this ribbon. I don't know if this is the right colour ribbon for this, but I'm being a bit generous with it. And I'll probably put it on back the front, but move it over a bit. When you haven't crafted for quite some time, it's a little tricky to get back into it, I must tell you. But I did have a fabulous time at our coffee, cake and cards last week. We had, well, including me, there was 11 of us. So that was really lovely. And it was lovely to see everyone after Christmas, and they were happy, and we had some people there who hadn't been for a while, and people there we're missing some people that normally come, but oh goodness, that ribbon is going to be the death of me. It's not doing what I want it. Anyway, we'll just trim it off a bit. I've got to find someone that can sharpen scissors, because I've got a whole heap of scissors that need sharpening. Yeah, so I might later on put some bling on that. I don't know. Oh, hang on. I might have a star down here. I just dropped all my bling onto the floor. Maybe not. I've got 3 folders of bling. So, yeah. Hi Helen, thanks for watching. Hope you're well. Yeah, lots of bling everywhere, Jodie, because I didn't have all the sleeves zipped up. Oh look, I do have some stars from a long time ago. They're probably from a kit, but they will be perfect. So I keep all the bits and pieces from my kits. I don't know if you can see that. And I just keep them in a little zippy bag, or little zippy bags, and because there's always bits left over. And look, I have a lovely little star in there, and it's a sticker. I've got bucket loads of bits and pieces, but let's grab out that little star and we can pop it on the top. Here's my scissors to... It's a bit of a wonky looking star, really. But anyway, let's turn him round. I think at one point he was supposed to be a gold star, but there you go. Whoops, he's still wonky. It's like that wonky donkey. That's one of my favourite books, except I can't read it without killing myself laughing. There we go. So that's a little start. So we've got 2 cards so far. So do we have time for a... Oh, hi Doreen, thanks for watching. Do we have time for a 3rd card? You reckon it's a tree that's wonky? Yeah, it could be. It probably needs a bow down here or something. But anyway, it's a wonky tree. It's like the tree in Charlie Brown that nobody loves. You probably don't know that Christmas episode of Charlie Brown. It's probably before your time. Anyway, so we've got a couple of other stamps that we... Oh, it needs something at the bottom. Oh, okay. Like a sentiment or something. Yes. I think so. We'll work on that. Maybe you need some grass. Let's have a look at that. Why don't we give it a little bit of grass? I don't know where I put my grass bits. Oh, no, we will just leave it for now. I'm not going to work more on it. I'll come back to it later. And because I want to do this next one. Now, I've got a piece of white and we've got these carrots here. So what I'm going to do is, we talked about trees before and how we could make our stamps into trees. Now I'm hoping this is going to work. I've got some shaded spruce. Oh, your mum never let you watch Snoopy. Oh, I'll have to watch it with you and Hunter. So I've got some shaded spruce. I'm just gonna ink it and stamp it off lightly. And then I'm going to stamp it on my piece of white. Now, I'm pretty sure this is going to be wonky because I can't stamp straight to save myself today. So I've got one. I'll do this again. I've inked it up and I've stamped it off lightly. 2. Okay. Ink it up, stamp it off. Actually, I'm going to stamp it off again. And I'm going to... No, I'm not. So this is beauty of live videos. I'm absolutely winging it. And my paper's crooked, so my tree is probably going to be crooked. So I've got my 3 carrots there. Upside down carrots. Yeah, and then I've got somewhere on my table some other the other grassy bit. Oh dear. This is why you should clean them and put them back in your case straight away. Because I don't know where I put that piece. Oh, there it is. It's still stuck to the thing. It's one of those days. Okay. So now I've got my bits here, and we're going to grab that shaded spruce back again. Now, this will be a bit of a challenge for me, two-step stamping like this. I'm going to try, oops, it's a bit out of whack. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the other two have got some masks underneath it, in case. No, that's not a stamp under my logo, no. It was still in the case, Jodie. It's very difficult to see when you can't put your head over top of it. So anyway, so we've got our, so what the green does, it adds, and this is where you should use your stamper artist. So if you've got a stamper artist, use it. Don't do what I'm doing now and try and just line it up. If you're really particular, certainly use a stamper artist to try and line it up and get it right. But you can move it around a bit. It doesn't have to be just on one side, okay? So they're starting to get trees, or we got a bit of a ink booger there. We're going to get our soft suede again, and we're going to make, actually, we're going to use this other little carrot, right? And we're going to use that as our trunk. So we're only inking up just part of the stamp. And we're making, and we can use our post-it note to make it shorter if we want to. And we're making a little trunk out of the other carrot. Okay? So you don't have, because that other piece that we had would probably be a little bit too skinny. So we got three trees. All right. They sort of look like trees. It wouldn't be my best work, but I think that we can safely say that they could be trees. All right. So we've got our green piece. We're going to use the other side. I've got another piece of scrap somewhere. And I've got another stamp set here called Inspired Thoughts. Now, one of my friends from the US, she's my secret sister, she sent me this stamp set for Christmas. And I thought that was such a lovely thing, and it's from the annual catalogue. So I thought that would make a really nice sentiment rather than a thanks or whatever. Let's make it into a Christmas thing and use our, so we'll keep using the same colours and we're not, hi Glenda, lovely to see you. We're just playing with the sale-a-bration set, Glenda, the Thanks a Bunch set that everybody goes, oh my God, what am I going to do with some carrots? So we're going to just stamp our, so we've used the sentiment from an annual catalogue set though, called Inspired Thoughts. And it's just a really good all-round sentiment set. And going to trim that down and trim a bit of red down. I do need to just because, so I think that You could make a whole little forest to those trees. You know, you could put some gnomes with it. Okay, and it's just beautiful. So those trees would look great with those little gnomes that are the new gnome set, because they remind me a bit of that whimsical sort of gnomes. I didn't cut that very straight. Maybe I didn't stamp it straight. So I've cut it to, let's just cut that bit again. No idea why I didn't cut that straight. Good when you use the lines, that does help. I probably didn't stamp it straight, that's why. Yeah. So let's talk about our one-day craft retreat. So we have still got tickets available, and it's on, the tickets will be available until the 25th of 25th of January. And I had an email from Jo, who's the CEO of Four Voices today, and she's really excited, and she's going to see if she can pop in and say hello. So that will be really exciting. The tickets have gone up since the early bird special has finished, but you still get a lot for $150. It just means the charity gets more. All right. So the donation from your ticket will just be a little bit bigger. Okay. There will be, on the day, there'll be raffles, there'll be lucky envelopes. So the lucky envelopes will have a number in it, and if that number is drawn out, you get to pick up a prize. There's some great prizes. One of the raffle prizes is a Stamparatus, and the tickets for the raffles will be available whether you attend the event or not. I'm trying to remember what other prizes. There's stamp sets, there's massive packs of paper, there's tools, there's watercolour pencils, all sorts of prizes. Now, the tickets, as I said, are still on sale till next week. If you can't make the event, there's a craft at home option. The only thing that you won't get is your lunch and afternoon tea, but you won't have to pay for postage for your kits. So that's why we haven't changed the price. It's the same thing. And you will also get prize patrols, and if there might be giveaways, you might get those. Well, if there are all attending giveaways, you will get those too, so you won't miss out. Okay, but you do need to have bought your ticket by Wednesday next week. All right. There is no extending it because we have to prep and we have to do all of those sort of things, and tickets are selling fast, and we are hoping that they'll sell out, because that means that Four Voices get more money for their charity. And if you watched Sunrise last week, you would have seen the video about Four Voices and the vans that they've just put in Sydney and sent up to North Queensland. So they are just fabulous, doing some fabulous work. And Jo, the founder of Four Voices, was on Sunrise talking about their initiative and how they connect people with services, and they interviewed some people who they'd helped, and sort of brought a tear to my eye. I thought that was so lovely. And what else can I tell you? I am glad they're getting a very early start on Christmas cards. Yeah. And people have asked about this. A few people have asked me if, because the price of it is over $90, does that mean that you get a sale-a-bration item? And the answer is you will get a mystery sale-a-bration item. Okay, so you're not missing out on anything. Okay, so we've made sure, because we wanted to be fair and make sure that everybody got what they were entitled to. So that's what we decided to do. So here are our three cards from using the Thanks a Bunch Sale-a-bration set, which you can get for $90. When you spend $90, you get it for free. So as you can see, it's supposed to be carrots, but there is not a carrot inside. Okay, you're excited, Jodie? We are too. We're really excited. We had a really great day planning some things and working on our projects, and we have to choose what we're going to, which ones we're going to use. So we're really looking forward to seeing people. I promised also to give people a sneak peek of Saturday's class, and as I said, I'm not going to show the very front of the project, but I will show you part of it. Now, this is what we call a perpetual calendar. Okay, so it's got a frame and it's got quite a few. Each month has got a spot for which you can write the date and people's birthdays. Okay, and so I'm not showing you the whole thing. I'm only showing you a few months. Like I haven't deliberately didn't put the winter months in there because they're a bit special, and the front cover is a bit special. And yours won't have a big glue smudge on it either. That's just come off my hands now. So this is, and the frame is also decorated, which I'm not showing you that either. So that's, I've got a couple of spots left from Saturday. A couple of people pulled out. So if you are interested in this class, please contact me ASAP. It's an in-person class. Or you can buy the kit and I can send you photos, and everyone's will be different. People will put things in different spots, and it's a really cute little project, and it stands up on your desk. And that is going to be lots of fun. It's going to be a lot of working quickly. So I'm really excited that Kylie, you get a sneak peek since you'll be there Saturday. So yeah, that is $50 this Sunday. And if there are any kits left over, I'll be selling those after the class. So still don't work out how my board keeps getting crooked every time. Anyway, so these are our classes, our samples from tonight, our wonky tree, our landscape with the island and the birds, and our Christmas card. So, as I said, just because Stampin' Up says that this is, and shows you samples saying this is a carrot, doesn't have to be a carrot, okay? It can be whatever you like. You're only limited by your imagination or by your ability to search Pinterest, okay? So, I think that's all from me. That's a reminder, get your tickets, your retreat at home tickets or your retreat in person tickets. We would love to sell out and have make as much money as we can for Four Voices. And if you want to know more about Four Voices, I shared a video, or you can contact me and I can send you a link to their website about the amazing work that they do. So everyone have a great week. I'm going to go and let my husband cook dinner for me and have my dinner now. So have a really lovely evening, and we will see you next week, and you'll get your last reminder to buy those tickets for our retreat. So until next time, happy creating.